Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I am your host, Zen Sams. I'm so excited to debut our newest segment brought to you by Animoca Brands called Hello Open Metaverse. And this week we are featuring the awesome Zaf Chow. Zaf is Director of Digital Strategy and Partnership at Animoca Brands. For those of you that haven't heard, Animoca is a global leader in blockchain games, and Zaf spearheads the brand's efforts in developing the play to earn field, and of course, by promoting a mass adoption of NFTs and metaverses. Today, we are chatting all about Hollywood and the entertainment industry at the metaverse juncture, and what value does this merger really mean for fans? Well, for starters, Meta Hollywood is a community first ecosystem for entertainment fans and creators, offering exclusive access and utility at the intersection of Hollywood and Web3. Impressively, Zaf is the project owner. Now, we all know the industry has started to grasp the need to engage the metaverse on its own terms. This month, Hollywood giant CAA appointed Joanna Popper, who used to run XR initiatives for HP, to the newly created role of Chief Metaverse Officer. And earlier this summer, Disney hired former Apple executive Mark Bozon to serve as the studio's VP of Next Generation Storytelling Creative Experiences. Paramount is also currently hiring a metaverse producer. Sony snatched up Fortnite developer Epic Games for $1 billion earlier this year. Now, that's all a giant win for the artists and developers making metaverse work, but not much attention is going to the potential metaverse audiences. And as someone who devotes a great deal in research, please believe me when I say there's gold in them digital hills. And here to chat some more is one amazing female industry trailblazer, Zaf Chow. Welcome to the show, my beautiful friend.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure to have you on. Okay, let's chat Meta Hollywood very quickly. So, with access to this vast collection that you guys have of over 60,000 movie memorabilia items, you provide these really interesting opportunities for creators to share their work, participate in productions, and really monetize their talents in both a traditional and a tokenized economy governed by this awesome DAO environment, so to speak. And you manage to very beautifully bridge real world entertainment experiences and digital assets through NFTs on this platform. What vision is most important to you and Meta Hollywood?
I think to a lot of people, like Hollywood is something really far away from them. They don't really get a chance to be involved in a lot of things. But I think through this Meta Hollywood project that we're doing, we aim to create a community that we involve the creators, the fans, and also the studio to be coming together and create something great together. I mean, of course, we can leverage some of the really well-known IP in the past, but I think more importantly, we want to leverage the community and try to create something together and co-own the IP in the future. And I think we are trying to, like, as you mentioned, bring some physical touch to this project as well. And like potentially it can be grow into something like a Soho House, like a social club for fans and for studio or for for artists or even for creators to come together and to meet in real life. I think that would be our goal for this project.
That's so unique and interesting that you're bridging a real world concept like a private membership club to something digital, because now we're going to have this digital twin and this digital layer that we all have to start thinking about. So, interestingly enough, at Meta Hollywood, if I'm hearing this correctly, you basically transport guests into the amazing world of Meta through authentic and rare memorabilia, and I find that fascinating. So let's move on to with the metaverse coming of age. You know, interest is now shifting, Zaf, to the primary value proposition, sort of speak. Can I buy a virtual land parcel and build on it to generate a passive income, right? And the simple answer is that much is currently dependent on the infrastructure of a particular metaverse ecosystem. Some of the popular digital worlds, such as the Sandbox and Decentraland, allow landowners to set up structures, you know, buildings, so to speak, or host virtual events to monetize their digital space. Pretty similar to the concept of owning rental spaces in the real world. Walk me through a simple monetization path one would land on versus a creative path one can participate in on Meta Hollywood, so to speak.
Well, I think for Mount Hollywood, we're not building something like Sandbox. We're not trying to sell land per se. But I think for creators to come in, they may get chance to crowdfund from our fans or from our community. So people will use the native token of Meta Hollywood to fundraise like a project, and then they can be part of the creation, and they can have like ideas to be voted and everything. So working almost like a DAO, and then of course like some sort of like co-ownership of the IP that they co-create on. So it's not really like the rental ideas in the physical life, but I think it's like creating something that they can actually own and maybe share some profit from as well.
Yeah, I love that because essentially, when you talk about um, at Animoca, you specifically, you facilitate strategic partners transition to Web3, which is, built upon the core concept of decentralization, openness, and really greater user utility. So when you chat about the Meta Hollywood NFT community, this is extremely important because you're essentially building a platform to gather both the creators and the fans, facilitating this interaction between them, really pulling all these movie lovers and these studios and these producers and really these creators closer through this memorabilia and these physical and digital experiences, which I think is fantastic. But this allows opportunities for all, talking about the creator economy. But talk to me about, in your perspective, the importance of merging and harvesting and building a Hollywood community powered by Web3 and the metaverse.
Yeah, because like in the past, I think the communication is really one way, like maybe the producer or like the publisher announce something, but then the fans doesn't really get a chance to be involved in the creation process and decision making. That wouldn't be in the equation at all. Like maybe after like a long process of production, the fans are only there to see, to admire, to appreciate the project, but they didn't get any chance to be like participating in this production process at all. So I think this creator economy is really important, and it's really symbolic for Web3. And I think NFT is just a tool to enable this function or enable this like even contract, quote unquote, contract to be in place. So everyone can contribute, and they can be like ambassador of the creation, I mean, of the project as well. But then they can be rewarded maybe from a token, maybe from like the NFT appreciation in value. I think this is really important and symbolic for an old IP, how to evolve and how to utilize Web3 in a new way.
Exactly. What you said makes so much sense. And audiences, to your point, are spending meaningful time in many different metaverses from, VR chat to Grand Theft Auto Online. So why not start even showing movies there, or at least make sure that you're engaging this really cool tech, savvy user, so to speak. But let's move on to another concept here. So Anycube platform, interestingly enough, is set to create a music metaverse and issue NFTs and ecosystem tokens, excuse me, based on the intellectual property rights of Cube Entertainment's globally popular K-pop music artists and actors. And this is extremely relevant because this year MTV's Video Music Awards had a new category called the Metaverse, Zaf, and K-pop took center stage at the MTV VMAs this year with four historic wins. K-pop really took center stage from BTS to Blackpink. Artists dominated the award show, and clearly the metaverse is providing a serious venue for the evolution of creativity, right? So at this point right now, there's a huge opportunity. And I say it's an exhibition venue. That's what the metaverse is. And for anyone in the business of engaging audiences, ignoring them here is tantamount to signing their own death certificate. Talk to me about Anycube, and tell me about what kind of unique proprietary, concepts you're bringing to the metaverse.
Yeah, maybe I can start with why we're choosing K-pop to start with. I mean, compared to Western like pop music, I think K-pop is really special in terms of the fandom. There is like nowhere seen in the world or in the music history. Like, I mean, if you talk about BTS fans, they're like super into the BTS performance, and they're like crazy army. But then like for other like Western pop fans. They're not that united in a sense. So we choose K-pop to start to work on like this innovative idea of maybe forming a virtual K-pop group together with the fans. So at the beginning, we will start to leverage the existing IP, existing bands or groups out there, and we attract the K-pop fans onto the metaverse because, like right now in the Web3 space, we're still, I mean, not many people are on. It's still not mainstream at this point. So we're trying to leverage the K-pop fandom to attract more people community onto Web3. And then while we creating this like K-pop fandom community, we're trying to give people a chance from all around the world to get a chance to be going on to audition, for example. Because in the past, if we want to be a K-pop star, you have to be selected as a trainee or like a intern for a long, I mean, to be trained for a long time in Korea, and not many people get the chance to do that. But we're trying to like reimagine how this can be done. So in the future, not so long, I mean, not so far in the future, we can actually try to have this global audition concept for everyone in the community that they have some talent. They can maybe get a chance to be go into the audition and can maybe debut as like a virtual K-pop group in the future. I think this is like the most exciting things we're
That
seeing in the
is
music industry. Yeah.
That's so exciting. I mean, I think people just got really excited hearing you say this and are trying to figure out how they can audition. But the metaverse is definitely the place to start because the metaverse is providing a serious venue for the evolution of creativity. Like you said, from 3D interactive experiences, 360-degree cinema, performance art, and really so many creations from new generation of storytellers that it's really, like I said earlier, it's an exhibition venue. So interestingly enough, for those of you listening, Anycube is going to also bring Cube Entertainment's artists to the Sandbox, I heard. And the Sandbox is a leading decentralized gaming virtual world and also a subsidiary of Animoca Brands. But we have about 2 minutes before we go to a commercial break. And I just wanted to, Zaf, to get your opinion here. So apart from adding the metaverse performance category, MTV created its own VMA's metaverse experience in Roblox, featuring 3 music and dance themed games and, of course, a virtual red carpet for metaverse photo ops. But metaverse concerts have become increasingly common in the past couple of years since DJ Marshmello attracted 11 million people in 2019 to one of the first metaverses concerts in the multiplayer survival game Fortnite. Several artists and companies have jumped on the trend. Rapper Travis Scott reportedly brought in 20 million from a Fortnite concert he hosted in 2020. He earned 54 million from his 26-city Astroworld tour in 2019. So this truly feels like a revolutionary and very disruptive monetization model. Give me your take on this.
Yeah, I think for those artists that has performance or like as you said, like an exhibition venue at utilizing metaverse before, the one thing that we always talk about is the ownership of data. So I think, like in my opinion, like Sandbox is a great place for like virtual concert because like you own the land, you actually know who actually visit your land to attend a concert before, and you have a way to reach them in later. So it's unlike the physical concert, like everyone buy the ticket offline and then you don't know how to contact them later. And actually, in some of the other like virtual world or virtual concert that has been done before, the organizer or like the group, the music group actually have no access to those data. So I think like some good ideas around how a music metaverse can be is the true ownership of the data and how like the music group can leverage those later to engage the fans in the future, not just inside the one event, but also like how do they have like sustainable utility or perks for those community and how to engage them in the future.
What a great answer. I love it. You're right to the point. Well, we're out of time. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on board. It was such a it was a pleasure chatting with you and very refreshing. You explained it very effectively. You are now one of my experts on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You got it. Guys, you definitely have to check out the beautiful Zaf Chow. She's Director of Digital Strategy and Partnership at Animoca Brands. Head to metahollywood.io and, of course, anycube.com for an incredible experience. Of course, this is all part of the Animoca Brands family. This was the opening segment of Hello Open Metaverse by Animoca Brands. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.